Hi. So this screencast is about Yahoo Mojito, which is an open source MVC framework to create web applications, and it runs on Node.js. To install it, you go and install Node.js and then npm install Mojito -g, which will install the npm package. So today I'm going to show you how to create a simple application and then you move the runtime from server to client side and enjoy the awesomeness of Mojito. So let's get started by creating your first application. We are going to name it as a YouTube search. So YouTube search. So once you create the application, it will create a directory and it will have some set of files. So application.json, index, package, routes, and server.json. So you read about the documentation. Right now I'll go and show you. You have to just modify routes.json and application.json. So in application.json you have to add the Mojito layout. So let's create your first Mojito by saying Mojito create Mojit and then Mojit name. So I'm going to create a container Mojit. So this container Mojit is created. So if you go here and see, there is Mojit and container Mojit is created right here. So once you have created, you go to the application.json and create the first frame Mojit, HTML frame Mojit. So create the frame Mojit. You have to just say something like the top Mojit name, which is HTML, and then it's HTML from Mojit. HTML from Mojit is an inbuilt Mojit which is creates HTML frame for you. So you can give title to it like hello, and then the child. So child will be my container Mojit, and then you have to go to the routes.json to add a route for it. So to add the route, you have to give the route name, which I'm giving as a root, and then the verbs. So verbs could be get, put, get, post kind of things, and the path could be anything. So I'm just giving star path, and I'll be calling HTML Mojit as a top level Mojit, which is defined in my application.js as HTML, and then which is a frame Mojit, and then child is container Mojit. So after this, if you simply run your Mojito start, you actually, that will start the server, and you have to go here and hit the localhost :866. So you see something is running. So we'll see where from these things are coming. So HTML frame Mojit is your overall frame, HTML frame with the body and head, and then you have defined a container Mojit, which is here, and it has some controller which dumps some data from the model foo, and model foo is defined in the model directory, which is having models foo.server, which gets some data as a data dumps something, and then the view is a mustache template which dumps something here. So let's modify your view by creating some okay, before that we'll create another Mojit which will be the search result. Basically we are going to create a YouTube search result, so there will be another Mojit which will be displaying the search result. So I'll be Mojito create Mojit, and Mojit name will be search result Mojit, and then that Mojit will be created. So in the view, before that you go to the application.json and add that as a children. So when you add a children, you have to specify its name, and the name will be search, and type will be search result Mojit. So type is search result Mojito. So once this is done, you have to go to the controller of the container to say that this is a composite. So I'll simply come here and I'll just create a composite Mojito here in the container Mojito. So I'll just type the composite thing. So this will simply create the Mojito. And in the views, I have to create on the container, I have to put an input box and the button. So I'll put Mojito input box and things. So this creates an input box and the button, and that includes the search Mojito, which is the child of it. So search is a child. If you see here, I created search, which is child of the container Mojito. So now if you simply run the application as of now, we'll see something. First it should get started, and then so you see here a search result and then the internal Mojito, which is having some more default implementation to source status. So now let's go to our code here and update the search result Mojito. So to controller, you have to dump some data from the model search result model foo. So right now I'll dump some default controller. So default controller is something like this. So and in my model I'll do a YQL query. So YQL is there's a YQL table youtube.search to get the search results, which dumps the search result at the video tag. So in model I'll just do this YQL query. So this is my query thing. So it gets the query, and query parameter you have to add here. So it gets a query, and if the query is not defined, it calls back with the empty result. And if the query it does the YQL query, if the result is came back and the result doesn't have the results object, it calls with a blank thing and then try catch and then with the actual result here. So now we have to update the view to use these output. So I will come here and add a view which will be a list of videos. So this is my view. So it gets all the video and creates a li item with a anchor tag, and when the video is empty, just say that it's empty list. So after this, if you go to the restart your Mojito and refresh your page, there is some error here, I'm not sure. So okay, YQL is a dependency in my Mojito model, no, search result model. So I'm using YQL, but I haven't said that YQL is required, so I say YQL. So now you restart and then reload your page. So now the empty list has been here. So now if you put some query like test, you get the test results here. So if you see what is the source code, you see something YouTube search result is coming here, and then there is a Moto framework and something like that. But every Mojito has something called binders. So binders is basically a code which executes on the client side to hook the DOM events and something like that. So this is my default bind method, which I'll be binding something. So right now what I want is to bind this text box and the button, so that when somebody types here and clicks search, I get something. So I will type a binder, typical binder code here. So which is says that okay, if you get Yahoo has get on click, so on get button click you get a text box and then its value. You put Moit inner HTML as a loading, and then you invoke a Mojito proxy to invoke the actual Mojito which is lying on the server. So and then whatever result comes you simply put as a new HTML thing. So once you but before that in application.json you have to specify that you have to deploy this to the client. So there is an option say deploy, and if you say true, you might be seeing here the markup which is doesn't have much of the things other than the markup. There is no JavaScript executing right here. It's because everything is getting executed on the server side. So now if you say deploy true and restart your server, and if you see the source code now, you see a lot of JavaScript getting included here, which are the YUI dependency and some information here about, though it's big, but don't worry about that, it's kind of important things to come. And on the here, if you refresh, you get the search result with the test, and then you say hello and you get the search result. Okay, something is not working here. We'll see what's the error. So there is some error here which says that me is not defined. Okay, let's go to the binder and let's see what was earlier here. So okay, so this me was defined here, which I deleted. Let's delete this and get the Moto binder code, which is the simple binder. So now me is defined, and you close this, restart, reload again because server takes time to start. So now my binder is hopefully properly working. So if you say get search, it's loading something and then it takes time and then some results have loaded. So if I say pizza, Katy Perry, you get Katy Perry results. One thing you notice that you just implemented Ajax without doing much of the things. So if you see here, it goes to the server, it tunnels your request automatically and executes the Mojito at the server and gets the result and binds here. That is performed using Mojito proxy. It invokes the index action and then it passes the query as text, which is taken from the text box, and then whatever result comes up here, it dumps into the inner HTML. So one thing you note is that this search result model has absolutely nothing to do with the server. This simply does a YQL query, which you can always do on the client side as well. So now what we will do is we will rename this file as, instead of server, we say common. So once you say common, what it does is it understands that this Mojito can run on the server as well as on the client. So you just rename this as common as well, the controller and model both. Say common. And view, you need not to be saying anything. This is called affinity. So common is affinity, server is an affinity. So affinity of the view is need not to be anything, because view can be rendered anywhere, either on the client or server, because this is just a mustache template. So once your model has assigned common, if you realize one thing, if I start the Mojito, once it's started, you refresh the page, and with the default query it gets the result. So your result has been arrived here. Let's clear the network, and now this time if you see, if you simply say hello, it doesn't tunnel your request to the Mojito running at the server, because your Mojito is now on the client as well. So it simply does the YQL query. So if you see, it does the YQL query right here. That's because your Mojito is here. Your mustache templates has been downloaded, everything. It does the YQL query right from the client side, and you get the results right here. So this is all about Mojito. It runs on the client server wherever you want, and it's all, that is it. Thank you.